For the Interrobank, I'm Gracia Espinosa, and welcome to this episode on the Red Couch podcast. David Gomez, editor of the Middlesex Banner and local journalism initiative reporter. Yes. Hi, David.
Hello, Gracia. Thank you for having me.
Well, I want to know, my first question is, could you tell us a little bit about your day today in the local newspaper? Yeah.
Well, it depends on the week. So I'm the editor too of the newspaper. So the first thing is try to communicate with the reporters about what are they going to cover in that week. And after that, I will look for my stories. That it takes more time, of course. So it depends. For example, one MPP, one member of the provincial parliament resigned a few days ago, and he is from. He was from. He represents. He used to represent our county. So I had to deal with that communication and try to reach out to him and try to find. I don't know any contact of him to see or to discover if there is any reason why he resigned.
I wanted to ask you: is the controversial about? I'm talking about this person. The things that he said about the First Nation, or
no. This is related actually. With all of the Greenbelt scandal connected with the premier Doug Ford. So he was
I wanted to clarify because perhaps our audience don't know about.
So the
scandal.
name of the MPP is Monty McNaughton, and he is MPP for Middlesex, Ken, and Lambton, and also he's like he was the Minister of Labour for the cabinet of Ford. So he had for many years he has a lot of experience in public services. So he just resigned with no reasonable reason why. So I've been trying to look for that. I mean, to discover that and trying to reach out to his staff and things like that. But I haven't found anything yet. But anyway, so this is just an example of
all the work that you have, in your media.
So this is something like it's related to something more bigger. I think it's bigger in terms of because it's something provincial, but my focus is on everything that happens in the county. Even we don't cover even things related to London because London is not the same, or is not part of the Middlesex County because the Middlesex Banner covers the 7 townships and 1 village of the county. So that's the idea of the newspaper, the coverage of all the news related to the county. Of course, sometimes we have to cover London because London and Middlesex County shares things like the school board or the paramedical services. We share that. So sometimes I have to cover some stuff related to London. But my purpose as an editor and as a reporter of this local newspaper is to cover all the news related to all the townships that are part of this county.
I think it's important to highlight this because I have also worked in a newspaper and a local TV station in my country. And I don't know if you agree that for me, the best place you can learn about the real journalism is in a local newspaper in a little media. I don't know if you agree with this.
Yes, actually, yes, because you can talk with people. So you can, and that's the purpose of journalism, right? Like interact with people and write stories. So I wouldn't say that it's easier. I mean, the job as a local journalist, but I think you have the opportunity to be in constantly contact with people, with locals, and that's very important to write stories, right?
And at the same time, I would like to highlight this because when you are a student, you imagine your dream job in a big company, in a big media, because people think that, for example, in Toronto, they are going to find like exciting events, exciting stories, but people cannot imagine how many stories we can find here in London, in the county of the
Right.
Middlesex.
First of all, I think that so print media, I wouldn't say it's dying because that's not true, but I think it's weak. It's really weak in really big cities like Toronto or Vancouver or
Of
Montreal.
course.
Because there are different access to news, different options for it. So, but I wouldn't say that that print media is that important, like in small towns or farm areas or just like London. Actually, London it's a really it's not really big as Toronto, but it is its relevancy. It's connected with different towns around. So I think maybe not London, but different towns around London care a lot about newspapers nowadays, and and it's not just because they could be the majority of the audience is old or elderly, but actually it's because they feel like there is no so many options of coverage right now for their local news. So that's the importance of print media now in a local environment, I think.
It's one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, because still people here read newspaper
Yes.
in a paper
I'm gonna stop
version.
right now. Gracia, can you hold the mic? Because you like to move
Oh
back
yeah,
and
yeah.
forth.
Sorry,
So it's going-
sorry. My fault. Again.
Are we going to edit right? Okay, yeah, we're
no,
fine.
yeah.
No, it's me. It's me.
No, that
Sorry.
take it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you if people still read newspaper in a paper version, David.
Well, that's hard to say. I would say yes. People is still reading, not as before, not as 20 years ago or as much as 40 years ago. That's for sure. But I would say that there is still importance in reading. So yeah, I would say that. And people, local people or people that are not from big cities, they still care about local news, and it's in a more helpful way. They would expect to have it in a paper, right? In a print version of it, right? So I would say yes for local news.
For local news.
For local people that they don't have so many access to other types of visuals, for example. They care a lot about this kind of information.
Because in your newspaper, all the news are only in a paper version, or you have an online version for people who prefer to watch the news on social media or on the computer?
So yeah, there is a website. The newspaper has a website, but actually we have recently change of ownership. So the new owner or the new owners, actually, they are trying to change everything and have more access to virtual and digital forms of the newspaper. But we are trying to do that. So we currently have a website with some abstracts of each news, but all the real information is in the newspaper itself.
Your main job, for example, it will be writing articles, right? Or you have to shoot videos or...
No, so much. I mean, I have two, as I said, I mean, I have two duties in the newspaper. I mean, I have many, but two really strong
To
ones.
summarize.
Yeah. So I have first my duty as a reporter, and as a reporter, I have to cover a story. I have to do interviews and take pictures sometimes. Record a conference or something. It happens, but I wouldn't say I don't use videotaping or anything, video recording or any visuals as much as just pictures right now. And my other duty is as an editor, so I have to figure out how to deal with all the content from my stories and the ads we receive for the newspaper of each edition, in each edition. So that's my role.
Do you think it's necessary more journalists in local medias? Because right now you say I take pictures. If it is necessary, I have to be in a conference. I have to edit video. I have to write articles.
So yeah, there is a lot of work on that, but of course I would not cover all the county. The county is formed by 7 townships and 1 village. I mean Middlesex County, and I just covered 3 townships and like general news of all the county. I mean, like from the council meetings of the county or something like that. Yeah, that's what I cover. But we have other 3 reporters that cover all the other townships. So, and each township has different towns around with different kind of people, with different kind of approaches, with different councils. So that's one of the most important things as a reporter in this newspaper, in my newspaper, is to cover council meetings and try to process all the information the councillors discuss, and try to write something about it, something more simple about it, and try to communicate that to the audience, right? That's one of our duties. But answering your question, I would say yes, we need more people to deal with more news, but because things are happening all the time.
Yeah.
Even when you think that it's a really
Normal day.
yes, you can find something new. Good things and bad things happen around all the time, right? Even if it's a really small town, it happens. So it would be helpful if we if we would have more people around helping us with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know that right now the situation, a lot of journalists were fired from local, community and regional newspapers. So I want to understand why it's happening. It's because there are not enough journalists, there is not enough money. There is not enough audience for that
For that newspaper?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is not a majority, but almost all the newspapers in Ontario. I'm just talking about Ontario because because I don't know how it is in other provinces.
Of course.
But maybe in Quebec is the same. But anyway, so Ontario has different local newspapers around all the big provinces we have, but many of those newspapers are part of different nets of local newspapers. So the thing happened with Metroland, that it was there was a really big net of local newspapers in Ontario that just closed 1 week ago.
Yeah.
So it's brutal because it has happened really quickly, and so fortunately we're not part of that net, but it is happening because uh, I mean, people prefers to have um, news
Immediately on the
not
mobile
only
phone,
immediately,
on
but I think less ads, less advertisement, and more news.
oh,
That's what people need. And that's a thing that it's happening. Because if you buy a newspaper of, I don't know, 15 pages, and 10 of those pages are just ads, that's not the idea of journalism, right?
because I think you didn't tell this to the audience. The newspaper, your newspaper is bi-weekly or it's not day by day, no?
No, I mean, it's really difficult to have a daily newspaper nowadays. There are like at the London Free Press. It's like I think it's daily, but it doesn't work like that right now at this moment. So we have bi-weekly issues, and yeah, we're happy with that. Maybe in the future, we're trying to discuss that.
No, because it's interesting.
We're trying to propose 3 issues per month, but not yet.
Yeah, no, but it's interesting because you insisted on the idea that people demand all the time news, and at the end, if you want to do a report, investigative report, investigative journalism, you need time. You cannot do it in 24 hours. So
Yeah.
I think we should
Yeah.
educate people that I understand you want to know what's going on, what's happened, but at the end we need time to do the research, to find the
Yeah,
people.
that's true. I mean, it's not. I try to find good stories, not I mean, there are simple stories all the time, but I try to in every issue. I write something deep, like not something very simple, something that took me time to investigate, and that requires more time, definitely more time. And I would say that, yeah, in a daily basis, it wouldn't be the same, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same because I wouldn't have so much time to find out that. So yeah, I think it's a good thing that we have time, at least a week, to prepare everything, and
it's not
doing the
easy
research.
to be in touch with people, to do the contacts, because both we are not Canadian. I mean,
Yes.
we had to start from the beginning, so we have to find
Yes.
the contacts. We have to create our
Yes.
networking.
Yes, and I've been in the newspaper almost 6 months. It's not a lot, but I'm trying to know people, know the councillors of each township, for example, or meet the mayors. Not just knowing their names, but I mean, try to meet them in real life. That's a big deal. But I'm trying to get involved in all of the festivities, all the culture that each township has. That's something really important. Not just the coverage part, but also the commitment as journalists is with people. That's what I believe. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, David. It was a pleasure to know your job in this local newspaper, and I hope you want to return to this podcast.
I will, definitely. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for listening to another episode of the Red Couch podcast. You can catch up with every episode on our website or wherever you get your podcast. Watch full episodes on our YouTube channel and subscribe to our newsletter to keep up with Fanshow. For the Interrobank, I'm Gracia Espinosa.